This is USVI News, your Virgin Islands connection.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for USVI News. I'm Haley Potter. We begin with news out of St. Thomas. A man was arrested in St. Thomas after he turned himself into police on Sunday. This is 33-year-old Simon L. Rawlings. He was wanted by police and charged with first-degree burglary, kidnapping, simple assault, possession of a firearm, possession of ammunition, and disturbance of the peace. The victim, an adult female who says Rawlings is her boyfriend, says he forced her into a truck at gunpoint. She escaped and immediately called police. Rawlings was jailed without bail following the territory's domestic violence laws, pending his hearing. And this is just a reminder out of St. Croix. Construction on Market Street in Frederickstead started on Tuesday. The Department of Public Works identified a sidewalk filled with mud and debris, which led to drainage challenges and stagnant water. They will work on the affected block between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. every day. The department is asking the public to avoid this area during work hours, as it will be blocked and no parking will be allowed. Work should be done by the end of the day on Wednesday. And now for a look at the latest coronavirus numbers right here in the territory. There are currently 109 active COVID cases across the islands, with 93 on St. Thomas, 15 on St. Croix, and 1 on St. John. And new today, there's an even bigger incentive for people who work at schools in the territory to get their COVID-19 vaccine. Governor Elbert Bryan is expanding the existing vaccine lottery drawings of $100,000 for 10 weeks to a drawing specifically for school system employees like principals, teachers, guidance counselors, and even school bus drivers. There will be 3 cash prizes in each school district: $25,000 for first place, $10,000 for second place, and $5,000 for third place. This special drawing will take place on August 9th, ahead of the upcoming school year, where they expect 100% in-person classes for the year. To register, you can visit the VI Department of Health's website. And a new study suggests that 2 of the most widely used vaccines worldwide are highly effective against the variant first identified in India. British researchers analyzed data from more than 14,000 cases of the new Delta variant, 166 of whom were hospitalized. They found the Pfizer vaccine was 96% effective against hospitalization after 2 doses. Meantime, 2 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine reduced the risk of hospitalization by 92%. The scientists say those levels of protection were comparable to the latest to that against the Alpha variant, which was first identified in the United Kingdom. The experts say most research needs to be done to establish the level of protection against mortality from the variant. And we could soon have another option when it comes to getting that vaccine. Vaccine maker Novavax says its vaccine is highly effective against COVID-19 and its variants. The Maryland-based company announced results from a large-scale study in the U.S. and in Mexico. Novavax says its vaccine was about 90% effective against the virus. The company previously released results from a smaller study in Britain and South Africa. It says it plans to apply emergency use authorization for the U.S. by the end of September. And here is a question for you. Have you gotten the flu or a cold in the past year? Cases were way down during the height of the pandemic, when so many of us were isolating and wearing our face masks. But now that people are gathering again, the common cold is making a comeback.
20-year-old Sam Hunt has been vaccinated for COVID, and as restrictions started to lift, he's been spending more time socializing.
I've been hanging out with a lot more people, a lot more mask-free.
But a few weeks ago, he got sick.
My symptoms started as a runny nose, a stuffy nose, a light cough, sore throat, and a lot of congestion.
The college junior decided to post about it.
Did anyone else recently get a little sick?
That struck a chord on social media. It's not surprising to doctors like Scott Joy and others across the country now seeing an uptick in common cold symptoms. Tell me about what you're seeing as far as the common cold right now.
We're seeing a lot of people who have been vaccinated but are still coming in with either allergy symptoms, a runny nose, a sore throat, a dry cough, some low-grade temperatures.
It's a consequence of the world opening back up. We've been wearing masks for almost a year and a half now. We've been social distancing, not shaking hands, not hugging, doing all those things that we know can spread germs. Has that weakened our immune system to now where these colds can come in?
It's not that our immune systems have gotten weaker, it's the ability of the virus to transport to another person has been limited in the pandemic social distancing and isolation.
That's why Dr. Joy still suggests the 3 W's for keeping colds and flu from spreading. Wear a mask indoors at large gatherings, watch your distance to others, and wash your hands. And he says if you have cold symptoms, consider getting a COVID test even if you're vaccinated.
This summer, I think it's very important to prove that it's not COVID-19 than to just think it's not COVID-19.
A key distinction to remember as we inch back to normal.
Great advice from that doctor. And Disney World may be fully open for fully vaccinated guests, but don't leave your masks at home. You may need them after all. Face coverings are optional now for most vaccinated guests visiting the happiest place on earth. And starting Tuesday, masks will only be required when using Disney transportation. That includes Disney buses, monorails, and the Disney Skyliner. Although Disney will not require proof of vaccinations, all guests who are not fully vaccinated are expected to continue wearing face coverings in all indoor locations and while entering all attractions. Disney also says it will be adjusting physical distancing guidelines coming up here soon. And now taking a look at weather. The second named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season is churning off the coast of North Carolina. Tropical Storm Bill was upgraded from a tropical depression on Monday. It has sustained winds of 45 miles per hour. The national hurricane season does not expect Bill to last long or impact the U.S. mainland. It will approach the Nova Scotia coastline Wednesday as a post-tropical storm. The Atlantic hurricane season runs through November.